The Artist Fund being immediate, being like right there in your bank account, ready to go so you can get back on track and get your life back in order is like an immeasurable amount of help.
All right, here is the first evidence of the leak. We have purple water coming out because the water ran through our stencil paper supplies. In here is where the leak originated. This is our supply room. Everything is soaked completely. There's water on the ceiling. The printer, stencil printer, all our supplies are wet. Our Sharpies are floating. Pipe outside froze and the pressure, popped a hole through here. All of our supplies are floating. Everything is soaked.
Oh god. Wall and the ceiling is still wet and sagging and soft.
One thing you don't think about when disaster strikes in your studio is how slow everything is going to move once that happens.
When artists go through hardship, it's our mission to help them get back on their feet.
Because of all the middlemen, because you have to deal with insurance, because you have to deal with your landlord, because you have to wait for contractors, or you have to wait for ServPro, or you just have to wait for things to dry even. You just don't think about the fact that like insurance is going to take a month, 2 months, 3 months before they send you a check for all the stuff that you lost.
And are they even going to send you something that'll cover everything
Right.
you lost when you lost like everything?
On top of that, you've got to figure, okay, well, I still have rent I have to pay. I still have all the utilities that we have to cover because even though we can't tattoo out of the space, we still have to have the lights on so we can fix it.
In the past, when artists went through illness, natural disaster, or some other catastrophe, they didn't have anywhere to turn.
Lots of artists lack safety nets like health insurance or life insurance.
On top of that, there haven't been any dedicated support systems in place for artists to rely on.
This is largely because tattoo artists and businesses are part of such a unique industry that some consider niche. So they're not often considered for government aid or relief programs.
We have to go through a middleman and you're trying to make the person who does own the building understand that this is like an emergency situation. They just don't always have quite the same sense of the emergency as you do, and you kind of get the sense maybe when you're dealing with other people that they don't totally understand either your field in general.
If a shop closes for one reason or another, it can be very hard to find a new location in a community that wants or supports a studio.
As a result, so many artists have faced joblessness, debt,
And loss of purpose while trying to cope with unexpected tragedies.
It is as bad as the experts feared. Hurricane Ian has made landfall in Florida. The storm has intensified to a near Category 5 status, wreaking havoc on everything in its path.
To stay afloat, artists had to count on GoFundMe programs and other less reliable means of support.
We kept thinking about the artists and oh my gosh, what if they don't have the funds to cover buying their own supplies and being able to pay their bills.
We came together as the Lucky 13 Fund to patch up that hole in the industry.
It's so important to our industry to have something like this set up so that there's something to fill that gap between when the disaster happens and when the shop is actually functional again.
Together, we're taking action to supply artists with everything they need to stay strong.
And keep creating when tragedy strikes.
The Artist Fund really made it so that we didn't have to put that pressure and that stress on our artists.
We hope that through our efforts, artists can rest assured they have someone to rely on during trying times.
Just kind of gave us some breathing room. It's such a big help to be able to just get back to some sort of normalcy after something like this happens. You're just I just want to do my job. I just want to have a normal day. The Artist Fund really helped us do that. It really kind of gave us that space and that time and allowed us to get back to work.
Artists are the heart of our collective industry.
Let's keep that heart beating.
As the Lucky 13 Artist Fund,
We're giving back.
We're giving back
we're giving back
to those
to give us art.